Alright, hello, my name is Drake Eastep, and today I'll be talking about what Y2K was. My credibility on the topic is that over the last 3 weeks, I've been doing extensive research over Y2K, and there's also some people at my work that I've talked with about them actually living through Y2K. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. First, I'm going to talk about what the Y2K bug actually was. Then I'm going to talk about the panic that the Y2K bug actually caused. Then I'd like to go in depth about how the government decided to handle this situation. And then we'll talk about what we have learned so far and what we've taken away from Y2K. First off, the Y2K bug was a coding error that originated from the 2-digit year tracking system. And what I mean by this is like 96 would be represented for like 1996, 97 is 1997, 98 for 1998, and 99 for 1999. Well, according to Britannica, the oldest English language encyclopedia, these computers could recognize 98 as 1998, but would not recognize 00 as the year 2000, perhaps rather interpreting it as 1900. So you might be asking yourself, well, why would this cause fear amongst people? Well, an example that I've read about was if a banking system was using a 2-year digit programming system, and they were trying to calculate the difference between 1999 and 2000, and the bank program read 00 as 1900, this would end up leading to invalid transactions. It could lead to bank accounts being frozen or whatnot, and bank accounts even not existing. So that's just one of those instances where like people were, maybe thinking maybe this is a little bit bigger than, just the years flipping. Maybe it could be, tragic. Well, but before any of that could happen, there were some experts that were trying to tell people about it too. So according to the Oil and Gas Journal, which, mind you, was published February 15th of 1999, so this is like a whole year prior to Y2K, they were saying that a recent analysis of the readiness of key oil-producing nations, like nations that produce oil to like other like neighboring nations, they said that their customer nations may find their oil supplies threatened if producers fail to fix the year 2000 problems in time, also known as the Y2K problems. So this was not just one of those things that was like one of those conspiracy theories that you may hear today about, oh, the world's going to end, whatnot. This was an actual threat that like experts and people were taking seriously. And so in a personal example of like people being scared about Y2K was, in fact, my mom. She was, my mom, I'm not doing it, hold on, my fault, okay. She was telling me that her and my dad were like, my dad was not as worried, but my mom was terrified. So she was like stockpiling food, water and stuff, getting supplies, She thought that, the world was about to stop for like a couple months. So she was pretty terrified. All right. So now that we see how the world was reacting, let's see how the government responded in this, face of terror. Well, the U.S. alone spent $100 billion on teams to do audits for software and repair software, and they also spent that $100 billion to also fix and update just like all around other machines. An example of that also is that people at Toyota that have been there forever, when they was there during Y2K, they said that they had like doomsday prepper teams come in and make everything Y2K ready. They didn't get to ask them like what that meant. I didn't know what they was doing because from my understanding, they just went in there, looked at the computer, and just like slapped a sticker on it. But who knows what they was doing? But this Y2K has left an impression that will be remembered for years to come. It highlighted the need for future-proofing systems, and it also highlighted software maintenance, and it established trust in the government's ability to handle such crisis at this magnitude. Because this was like one of the like newer tech crises that's actually happened. So no one knew if the government could handle it or not. It showed how small coding decisions can cause global impact. The 2-digit year counting system seemed harmless but caused panic across the globe. And this also made people think about long term when it came to coding and new tech. The world didn't end January 1st, 2000, but Y2K did show us how close we came and taught us how smart preparation can save the day. Thank you.